Hey guys, this is Josh Farley back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be doing more T-Mobile 5G home internet speed tests. Actually, without the waveform antenna connected still. Because if you guys don't know, if you guys aren't familiar with my channel, I actually put a video out yesterday, or a couple of videos, talking about why I'm going to have to get a replacement cable for my waveform antenna, so that's not actually hooked up. Currently, I only have the Chester Cheetah version 2 gateway slash modem hooked up. So, we're just going to do some speed tests on that. But what I actually have noticed is when I set this to standalone 5G without the waveform antenna connected to it, I have actually noticed that it keeps defaulting to 4G. So I don't know if you guys know a way that I could get around that, to make it actually get 5G signal, stay on 5G signal. But with the antenna, I don't have that problem. When I put it toward the window, I don't have that problem. But it seems like it keeps wanting to default back to 4G. And that's annoying because I get even slower speeds on 4G than I do with 5G. So I don't know what's going on there. If you guys know, definitely let me know down below in the comments, about that. Because I tried restarting it and stuff, and it still keeps wanting to default back to 4G. And I actually did try moving it, and it seems to be staying on 5G right now. So I guess it does matter, where it's actually situated, so it gets the best signal. But just keep in mind, that I'm not going to get like 500 to 600 on the download, just with the, Chester Cheetah itself. That's not going to happen, because I have the waveform antenna normally connected, and I normally get like 500 to 600 on the download consistently. And it is actually raining outside today, and my niece is actually downstairs streaming Pluto TV, so she's watching like Nicktoons and stuff, cartoons and stuff down there. So I'm expecting the speeds to be a little bit sluggish today, especially since I don't have the waveform antenna hooked up until I get that fixed or get a replacement. So I'll open up the speed test app here, and we'll see what we get. So I'll run 3 on the West Norton PA server, and I'll run 3 on the Ashburn VA server as well. So, like I said, it keeps trying to default to, the 4G LTE signal. So, I put it, I moved it around some, and it seems to be holding the 5G signal now, because I wouldn't be getting these kind of speeds if it was not 5G. So on this one, 345 for the download, not too bad actually. 7.46 on the upload, and only 20 ping, so that's not too bad. So the ping did go up on this one, but still not too bad. Almost broke 400 on that one, so that's definitely not bad. But yeah, I definitely will be glad when I get my waveform antenna back up and operating, because why these speeds are usable. It just seems like, with the default, Chester Cheetah, gateway, the default gateway, it just seems like it's having a hard time, getting a 5G signal, to stay, on the 5G signal. It just seems to be, fluctuating quite a bit, more than when I have it hooked up to the waveform antenna. So, the waveform antenna definitely does help. Like I said, I get like 500 to 600 consistently with that. Now we're only getting like 280 to 300, almost 400. That's decent speed, especially with my niece downstairs streaming right now, and my mom on her phone or whatever, and me up here doing speed tests, and it's a rainy day, like I said. So, it's decent speeds, but I'll definitely be glad, when I get my waveform antenna back up and, running, because, I don't want to have to deal with this, forever, obviously. So I'm hoping, that they'll send me out a replacement cable. I tried to contact them again today, and it's Easter Monday, so they're probably not going to answer me today. So, it is what it is. I'll just have to deal with it, until, I get the cable or whatever. And hopefully, they'll ship it out to me pretty fast. I don't want to have to wait like a week or two, in order to, get it back up and running like it was. But if I do, it is what it is. There's not really anything I can do about it. So, I'll just have to wait and see on that. So on this one, definitely not bad though. Almost 400, 398 on the download, 10.9, basically 11 on the upload, and 38 ping. So it actually does seem to be holding the 5G signal now, which is good, because it wasn't before. I was having a hard time, getting it to hold the 5G signal. So if it wasn't getting a 5G signal right now, we wouldn't be getting these kind of speeds. I can just tell you that right now. So definitely not bad on that one for the download. 416 for the download, 7.61 for the upload, and 39 ping. So like I said, the ping is going to be a little bit higher on this because it's using the default antennas. So you have to keep that in mind. I'm not using the waveform antenna, so these are the antennas that, came with the Chester Cheetah version 2 stock. So, and I'm not saying it's bad speeds. I'm not saying they're bad speeds by any means. I mean, a lot of people would probably be happy with these speeds, but since I know that I can get like 500 to 600 consistently, using the waveform antenna, I'm definitely going to be glad to go back to that, and get my speeds back. So, like I said, these are very usable, until I get the waveform antenna back up and running. So I'm definitely not mad about it. The only problem I've had, is, I have to go up there sometimes and I have to reboot the gateway, because it doesn't want to stand, it doesn't want to stay on 5G, it keeps switching back to 4G, and that's no good because 4G speeds are nowhere near as fast as 5G speeds, so, a lot of people already know that, that's why 5G is the next best thing, compared to 4G. But in some areas, you can actually get better 4G speeds than you can with 5G. It just depends on where you're at. But for here, I can tell when it switches back to 4G because we only get like 50, 40 or 50 on the download, and that's that's absolutely horrendous. So I can definitely tell, when it does that, when it goes back down to the 4G or switches to the 4G. So you guys know any way around that, where I can get it to switch, not switch, where I can get it to stay on 5G. But my thing is 5G is spotty in our area. So they possibly could be working on the towers. So that's what's, making me, wonder if it's something to do with the network or something, because I still have, actually seen on Down Detector. I can open up that, and it still says that T-Mobile is having problems, as you can see here in the red. It's a lot more red actually here, and now it's actually saying 42% for mobile phone, and 31% for 5G home internet, so that's definitely not good. And there's a lot of red here, and that's actually around the area that I live in, so that's definitely, not good. That's definitely just not good. And even when I had the waveform antenna connected, it was seeming like I was having slower speeds, or more inconsistent speeds, staying connected to the 5G, the 5G network. So, it's very possible that they're doing tower maintenance or tower modernization or something, because it definitely has been messing up. I've still been having problems sending text to people and receiving text messages from people. So, something definitely seems to be going on. So I don't think it's anything to do with my devices. Like I said, but if you guys know any way that I can actually get it to stay on 5G, without going back over to 4G, I would really like to know that. At least until I get my waveform antenna back, because when I get my waveform antenna back, that's going to give me a stronger, better signal. And like I said, 5G is spotty in our area, so it definitely depends on where I place the gateway, especially when using, the default antennas, the antennas that came with it. So it definitely depends more, where I place it with a default gateway, with the default antennas. So you have to keep that in mind. It's not going to be, like I said, as powerful as the waveform antenna connected to it. So on this one, definitely not bad though. 390 for the download, 9.15 for the upload, and 38 ping. Let me actually run one more on this server, and then I'll switch over to the Ashburn VA server. So it definitely seems to be holding the signal, which is good. Because I've had to go up there a couple of times and actually, try to situate it, to try to get a better, to get the 5G signal to stay. So like I said, if you guys know, anything that I could do, to make it stay on the 5G and not even, use the 4G, definitely let me know, down below in the comments. Like I said, this supports band locking. The Chester Cheetah version 2, it supports band locking. It also supports, I'm thinking, VPN. And it also supports SA, NA, and auto. So, I don't really know much about those settings. So if you guys can let me know, if there's any way to actually if there's any way to actually lock it, to a 5G signal, so it gets some kind of a 5G signal at all times. Definitely let me know about that down below in the comments. Right now, I actually have it on SA mode, so I think that's standalone. And then they also have NA, and then they also have auto, and then they also have NRG 5G, and then plus LTE, and then they have NRG something, and then they have just 5G, and then they have auto. So maybe I have to change one of them if I want it to stay on 5G only, at least until I get my waveform antenna back. Because it just seems like I'm having a hard time, which was the same way with my default, or my stock T-Mobile 5G home internet gateway. It was the same way with that, before I put an external antenna on it, the waveform. It was the same way with that. Like I said, our 5G area is spotty. The area around here is spotty for 5G, our area. So, if there is any way that I can actually lock it, on 5G, I don't know if that would really work with the, the default antenna, because it didn't really work well, for the gateway itself, the T-Mobile 5G home internet gateway, the stock one. So that's basically why I got the antenna, because it helps with the signal so much. And I still get a weak signal even with the antenna, even with the waveform antenna. I still get a weak signal. So, that tells you that it's very spotty in this area, the 5G. So I'm actually hoping that they are updating the towers, around here. I'm hoping that they're doing, tower modernization or something, because it needs it. It really does in this area. So I'm hoping, that's going to help with the signal and the reliability of it. And it's going to improve, so I'm not really that worried about it. So it's still, new technology, it's still improving. They're still improving it. So you can't really, complain about it, really, because they're still improving on it. It's still a somewhat new technology. So, and you still don't get it everywhere. I still don't get it everywhere on my phone. And I have T-Mobile, and I know people that have Verizon, and they don't get it, everywhere. So it's still, it's very area specific. It's still very, limited to where you're going to get it. I can get it some places in the house here, but some places I can't get it in the house. So, it's very spotty here. Let's just put it that way. So on this one, definitely not bad at all, though. 404 for the download, 9.97 for the upload, and 23 ping. So that definitely wasn't bad for the ping, especially. Let me switch over here to the Ashburn VA server. So it definitely does seem to be staying on the 5G signal, so that's definitely a good thing. And like I said, these speeds aren't the norm, that we normally get because it's not, it's not getting as good of a signal, because it doesn't have the waveform antenna connected. So you have to keep that in mind. So, a little bit slow on that one, 234 for the download, but still very usable. Also, you have to keep in mind that I have cameras running 24/7, and my niece is downstairs actually streaming cartoons. My mom is probably on her phone. It's raining outside today, so you have to keep that kind of stuff in mind. So not bad, though. 234 for the download, 15.6 on the upload, and 39 ping. And like I said, this isn't going to be the norm. I'm not going to have to deal with this, forever because, like I said, I'm going to be getting the waveform antenna back hooked up as soon as I can. So I'm not really that worried about it. These are very usable speeds for, me, my mom, my niece, occasionally some people over. It's not going to be that long. I give it, maybe a week or so, and I'll have the waveform antenna back hooked up, and everything will be fine. It'll be fine again. So, I'm not really worried about it. So on this one, not bad though. 271 for the download, 16 even on the upload, and 39 ping. So the speed does actually seem to be fluctuating. That could be because of the rain. That could be because of the weather and my niece streaming downstairs as well. So you have to keep that in mind. Definitely when somebody's streaming, the speeds are affected. So not bad on that one though. 359 for the download, 18.1 on the upload, and 39 ping. Run one more on this server, and then I'll switch back to the West Norton, PA. I'll run one more on that one. Yeah, it seems like it's like fluctuating and stuff, probably because of the weather and my niece streaming. So it's gonna do that. If nobody was streaming or anything, it would probably be a little bit higher, but not bad on that one, though. Very usable. 278 for the download, 18.2 on the upload, and 39 ping. At least it's staying on the 5G signal, though. Like I said, if it wasn't, it would definitely be a lot slower. So, yeah, it's definitely fluctuating because of streaming and stuff going on. As you can see there, it's, trying to fight to get over 300. And like I've said with the upload, as long as you get over 3 for upload, you're fine. So that was just over 3. So that's definitely, it's not good, but it's also not, terrible. I've seen much worse upload speeds for people. So not bad on that one though. 291 for the download, 3.87 for the upload. Could be better, but I'm not really that worried about it because I'm going to be getting, like I said, I'm not going to be using this forever like this. I'm going to be getting the waveform antenna back up as soon as I can. And then 38 for the ping. Run one more. So pretty slow on that one. Not really happy with that one. 220 for the download, 9.10 for the upload, and 38 ping. So yeah, it seems to be fluctuating again. Let me actually check and see. Well, I'm not actually going to do that for the sake of this video because I have my password and stuff on there on the Chester Cheetah admin page, and I don't really want to, show that. So it looks like it might have switched back to maybe the 4G signal again. I'm not sure though, but it's not looking too good on the speeds right now. Although there we go, it's going back up again though. So if this was 4G LTE, it wouldn't be this fast. I can just tell you that right now. So it's probably fluctuating quite a bit because of the rain outside, the weather, and my niche streaming. But like I said, these speeds are still usable. Around 200 to 300. Until I get occasionally 400. Until I get the Chester Cheetah. I mean the waveform antenna back. Hooked up to the Chester Cheetah version 2. But the speeds aren't too bad. As long as it keeps staying on 5G. I'm not worried about it, until I get it, back up on, how I normally do, back up on par, how I normally do. But, this will have to do for now, with the default, antennas that came with the Chester Cheetah version 2. I'm not, really that worried about it because these are still usable speeds. Yeah, I will be glad when I get my speeds back, the 500 to 600 on the download, and, the better upload, the somewhat better upload. Upload is terrible in our area. So, I'm really hoping that they are, doing tower modernization and stuff. Even if we have to suffer, with lower speeds, until they get it done, I would, be able to deal with that, until they get it done, and then we get faster speeds after that. So I would definitely take that, in return for, faster speeds, or more reliable speeds. Let's just put it that way. So, basically, guys, I just wanted to get this video out there. I just wanted to see what it would give me, with the default, antennas today. Like I said, I was messing with it earlier. It was aggravating me. I was trying to get it in a position, to where I could get it to get only 5G, and not switch back to 4G LTE or 4G. So if you guys know, what network mode or something I need to change it to in order to do that, right now I have it on 5G and LTE, which is 5G and 4G. And then they have other options that you can choose from in the Chester Cheetah version 2 menu and stuff, admin page. And then they have, they have the SA, and then they have the NA, and then they have auto. So I don't really mess with those much. I don't really know what they mean or anything. So if you guys can, let me know down below in the comments, what I could do to force it to get 5G, at all times, even though the signal is weaker, in my area. It probably still does depend on where you put the modem, the gateway, itself, because now it seems to be staying with the 5G signal, and it wasn't before I actually moved it around. So now it seems to be staying on the 5G. It still says weak. It still says a weak 5G signal, but at least it's staying there. Let me actually run one more and see if it's still staying there. So yeah, it definitely seems to be, still staying on the 5G, because if it wasn't, I wouldn't be getting speeds over 200. So that's definitely a good sign that it's staying, on the 5G now. So hopefully I won't have to, go up there and mess with it again. Let me run another one here. It still does seem to be acting weird though with the speed. Like I said, I don't have the waveform antenna connected, but it still seems to be like fluctuating with the speed. Which could be because my niece is streaming, downstairs, which is very possible. And also, it's raining outside, so it's a bad weather day. So that also has a effect on it. But let me run another one here and see if it'll go back up to 300 again. Looks like it might on this one. Maybe not. Yeah, it's like fluctuating quite a bit, mostly because my niece is probably streaming downstairs. So it's not gonna really give, the fastest of speeds when somebody's streaming, or when it's raining outside. So, like I said, those speeds are definitely usable though. They're a lot better than the 4G signal, that I had to mess with. I had to mess with it, to stop getting the 4G signal, because I was only getting like I was only getting like 50 on the download, and that's absolutely horrendous. So anyway, yeah, guys, like I said, I'm hoping that I'm going to get the waveform antenna back connected soon. It's a pain in my ass. I hate that it's Easter. I mean, I hate to say that, but I hate that happened on Easter, because now I have to wait longer, because they're not answering me on Easter. So I probably have to wait until tomorrow, in order to contact them, and then it's probably going to take like a week for it to get here. So it's just a pain in my ass. I hate to say it, but I hate it when shit happens like that. It just gets on my damn nerves. Stuff like that. And for something that expensive, $400, that's exactly what I'm going to tell them. That should not happen. You pay $400 for something, and a part breaks off. That's inexcusable for me. That's inexcusable for Joshua Farley. I mean, that's just how I get. When I get mad about something, I use words that I should not use. And I like to use my name. I like to say, stuff like, I say stuff, like that. Like that's inexcusable for Josh. That's, I don't put up with stuff like that. I just don't put up with stuff like that. So, they better look like, standing behind their warranty, because they're not going to have a customer. And I will, if they don't stand behind their warranty, I will badmouth them on YouTube. So they better be prepared for that if they don't. So we'll see, but it's very aggravating. I shouldn't have to contact them because something that was $400 broke. That's just I realize some things break, but the thing is, it looks like it's glued together, and that's not good. I'm thinking to myself, how's that thing supposed to last outside? I have mine up in the attic, and that's not out in the elements other than the warm weather, and the cold weather, because we don't heat it or air condition it up there. But I'm thinking to myself, how is that supposed to last out in the weather? if it's super glued or something like that. I mean, that's pretty bad. But anyway, yeah, guys, like I said, enough of me ranting here. I'm gonna get off of here. And I might do some speed tests later after my niece leaves. I'm not really sure. I'm not really happy about it. That I don't have my waveform antenna, so I might not. Do any more speed tests because it's just been getting on my nerves. Having to deal with this, trying to get it, trying to get the gateway to stay on 5G, all because of the antenna not, being able to be connected. It's just a pain. So anyway, yeah, guys, like I said, just wanted to get this video out there. And if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. And until next time, guys.